Today, we are obviously going to be talking about Zeagle. Zeagle is, we just launched these buffs a little bit ago, so I figured it would be good to have these. And just making sure that we are broadcasting here. Let's double check. Okay, we're good. We're broadcasting. Perfect, guys. Well, welcome again to Decompression Hour. We're really happy to have you guys participating today in our talk. We're going to be giving out some of these free buffs at the end of today. So if you guys ask questions, stay involved in the discussion, and then we're going to choose a few winners to get some free buffs. So definitely remember that. These things are great. I was doing a bunch of construction all weekend, and I was wearing my buff the whole time because they keep the sun off of my face and my neck, and they're awesome. So definitely stay tuned and be engaged, and you have a really good chance of winning one of these buffs. Somebody likes this hat too. I like the hat too. That might be a question for Zach Hollis, who we're going to bring on in a little bit here, who's going to be taking us through the brand. And you can also ask him about this hat, other apparel, any of that kind of stuff. So today we're going to keep it nice and mellow, casual fireside chat. We're going to bring on Zach Hollis. He's going to talk about his history and then the history of the Zeagle brand, which, if you don't know, Zeagle actually has a really interesting history. So that'll be cool for you guys to stay up on if you don't know yet. We'll then talk to our brand ambassador, Benja Iglesis, who is based in Maui and has been diving with Zeagle stuff for a long time. And he's just got a ton of experience with a lot of different Zeagle products. So we figured it would be awesome for him to kind of talk about some of these things that Zach has already mentioned and get some real world information about how these products work in the wild here. Signature Scuba, what's up? Thanks for joining us today. Good morning. Really appreciate you posting about all these live videos on your Instagram and Facebook feeds. You guys are awesome for helping us promote them like that. If anybody has any questions throughout this broadcast, please just shoot them over. Questions about any Zeagle products, questions about anything Hewish Outdoors related, really anything. We are here to answer questions. That's a big reason why we're doing these decompression hours, is just to connect directly with you guys. So please, please, please do not hesitate to send over any questions that you have. All right. Well, with that said, let's go ahead and bring on the man himself, brand manager, Mr. Zachary Hollis. He'll be joining us live in 3, 2, 1. Zach, you're on.
Hey guys.
Welcome. How you doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
Doing good. So where are you at today?
Salt Lake City, Utah.
Is this your office that you're at?
You know what? This is my office. You see the grid wall behind me, full of wonderful Zeagle products.
Excellent.
A lot of colors.
I like your shirt too.
Camo patterns. And my fancy Zeagle shirt here.
That's right. You guys like camo Zeagle stuff? If so, let us know what your favorite type of camo is, because we're always interested in hearing that. So leave a comment. Let us know what kind of camo you guys like best. Rich, afternoon from Jersey Shore. Good to have you, Rich. Thanks for joining us. Very, very good to see you here. All right, so let's start today, Zach, by just having you introduce yourself. Tell us a bit about how you got started in this industry and got started with Zeagle.
Yeah, my background, I've been diving for probably almost 30 years. I think since 91 or 92. My father, Bob Hollis, who founded Oceanic, he started Nick and I at a very young age, almost forced us into the ocean to go diving alongside him. So we've been diving for quite a long time. Beyond that, I think, I got started really manufacturing and designing gear at a young age. Working in the machine shop with my hands, developing dive products, that lended me well to managing the Zeagle brand as it is today.
Very cool. So how long have you been kind of working professionally in scuba diving industry?
I would say the better part of 20 years, right out of high school. Fresh out of high school, working in the sales department for Oceanic, working on the manufacturing side for Hollis. I've been in the dive industry my entire life. So several years ago, our brands were acquired by Hewish Outdoors, and I was given the chance to manage the Zeagle brand. And my experience in the years past coming in to manage this brand, they go hand in hand. I love diving, love the sport, love the camaraderie. Work with guys like you, Bill, of course. So it's made it really a fun time in my life.
Awesome. That's great. All right. So for people who don't know kind of what Zeagle is all about, maybe they've seen a Ranger here or there, maybe an F8, but they really aren't familiar with the brand as a whole. Can you just kind of introduce Zeagle, what we stand for, what we're all about? And yeah, just maybe that could lead into a bit of history about the brand as well.
Yeah, if you go to the website, what you're going to see is the new slogan, Tested, Trusted. We came out with that last year going into DEMA. It speaks to the brand about who the ideal customer is for the brand, someone that really demands the ultimate in performance and durability. So we have, military background, military customers that demand the absolute best. They choose to buy the made in the USA Zeagle BCDs. But really, the brand started off 40 years ago. Dennis Buellin, his diving career really started in skydiving. He started working for a company named Eagle Systems and eventually acquired that company and turned it into Zeagle. So a lot of the technology you see within Zeagle today, things like ripcord, weight release system, those are skydiving technologies that were brought forward into Zeagle. And you're going to see in most BCs that are sold throughout the Zeagle line, things like the ripcord, weight release system, those are standard. Those are really Zeagle first to the dive market.
Okay. So I think that a lot of people do kind of just think about Zeagle being really tough and lasting forever, especially with the Ranger BC and some other products. How is that translated into kind of like our military public service products? And when did we start doing public service products and military products? Has that always been part of Zeagle, or is that more new, or has it always been part of the line?
So I'd say for the last 30 years, you have Army Special Forces, combat divers demanding certain types of features in their BCDs. The fact that Zeagle can build BCs here in the USA, meaning very compliant with made in the USA materials, we are a direct supplier to military groups. So things like personal fit. If someone in the military or even just a standard weekend diver wants to go ahead and modularize their BC, make it personal fit, they can change out their bladder, change out their shoulders, change out their vest, and make the BC the absolute best fit for their body type. That's cool. What Zeagle is really known for, is being custom built, custom made, and built for specific missions, and also just for the person that wants more buoyancy for their weekend diving.
Mm-hmm. Great. We got a bunch of people joining us now. We got Ryan. Hey, what's up? How are you, Ryan? Good to see you. Bart says he loves his Zeagle Ranger. It's a solid one. Got Ryan Andrews here. He's asking if there are any options for adding weight to the Code 3.
Yeah, so the Code 3, you see it on my wall behind me here. There's MOLLE straps in the front of the vest, and we sell just a Code 3 specific weight pouch that you can actually install 4 of those weight pouches on the front of the vest.
Cool. Great. Hovey, how are you? Thanks for joining. Multicam camo is her favorite. Jeffrey likes coyote camo. Okay.
Coyote
Hello?
camo, that's where it's at.
Oh, we've got another question here. Zach, what is your favorite tattoo? A little off subject, but we'll go there.
I mean, I have a Mark V diving helmet on the inside of my arm.
Oh, sick. We see it.
I got a photo of Bob Hollis here. Kind of one of the original photos of him back in the 50s. So, couple cool tattoos.
Couple good options there.
Yeah.
Dan, what's up? Thanks for joining us. Marpat is his favorite camo, and he's been diving the 911 SAR for a decade. Awesome. Cool. Thanks for joining, Dan. Let us know if you have any other questions about anything. Mark, what's up? Love Zeagle. great in cold waters of North County in Minnesota. Very cold up there. Glenn, thanks for joining. He loves the customized BCs. Alan is into the Coyote Camo. That's 2 votes for Coyote Camo so far. Oh boy.
I'll take some
Coyote's
of that.
in the lead. Caroline, can the Xena BCD be customized?
Absolutely.
Zach, can it be?
Absolutely.
How so?
So we have a custom manufacturing line here in Salt Lake, whether it's the Xena Stiletto, the Ranger LTD. We can produce any one of those sizes in a variety of colors. If you go to our website, you can find the selection of colors. It's really easy. Just go to the BC Builder, select your size, select your color and the model of BCD, and then find your local dealer or dealer of your choice and send that form to them. And you got about a 30-day lead time for your BC.
And that's just Zeagle.com. Zeagle.com. So easy website to remember. Ryan Bolin asking what put Zeagle above its competition.
All right. So I would say just from a standpoint of having heritage and developing products for the military and commercial groups, public safety, and being really a BC that is, I call it the ultimate BCD. We are, whether it's the ripcord technology, the first weight integrated BCDs to market, or just the fact that we can personal fit and build a BC to anyone's body type. I don't think that most manufacturers can state that.
Nice. That's a good leadway into us starting to talk about BCDs. Zeagle is definitely known primarily for their BCDs. Not that's all we do, but we're highly known for that. So maybe, Zach, you kind of take us through the different categories of BCD that we make and maybe just share a little bit about those.
I'll start off with kind of one of the most well-known BCs for Zeagle, and that's, sorry, it's kind of hard to see this here.
Looks okay.
There we go. Yeah, so this is the Ranger LTD. This is the step up from the Ranger. But what this offers, like I said before, personal fit, being able to custom build the BCD with different size shoulders, different size vest. What you have, which makes it very durable, is an outer bag made out of ballistic nylon that covers your PU inner bladder. So, for people that are really diving thousands of dives or really want the absolute highest durability, this is the BCD for you. A couple other features. You have additional D-rings on the LTD where you don't have it on the Ranger. I like the option of being able to wash your BC out with your garden hose. So you're on a dive boat in your front yard. You can unscrew your BX inflator, hook your garden hose to this, cleanse the BC out, and it's a pretty cool idea for Zeagle. A couple extra pockets, accessory pockets. The LTD comes standard also with inner yellow pouches for weights. So this year, part of this year, we actually came out with this on all BCDs for Zeagle. So before last year, only the LTD offered that. Now you have the Ranger, the Xena, and the Stiletto coming standard with these pouches here.
Cool. Got a couple people joining us who love the Ranger. Got Scott George diving the Ranger in the Ohio River. He's also wondering about new products, which we will definitely get to a little later. Scott, thanks for asking that. We got Glenn Kerr Jr. saying that they've had several older Zeagle BCDs in for service, and we've been top-notch in helping customers get what they need, and they really appreciate it. So nice, Zach, and the service team. Thanks for that, you guys. Any other Zeagle Ranger divers here or any Zeagle BCD divers here? If so, please let us know what BCD you're diving in the comments. All right, back to you, Mr. Hollis.
Yeah, so the second up, I guess the second most popular, or probably when it comes to sales and demand, the Xena is really the most popular BC we have, and it's the best women's BC. Everything I spoke about, personal fit. This panel in the front, nobody else produces something like this for women. It just really gives you absolute comfort for the front part of the body. Personal fit shoulders, really comfortable neoprene material. This comes in a variety of colors, so you can order the color you want, whether it's a solid color panel with floral or just nylon material. A couple other things about this BCD, pockets on the side. You have a TPU bladder. So it makes this BC really a lot lighter than the Ranger. It's a better BC for a woman or female diver. Pretty streamlined. I didn't mention before that all Zeagle BCs have a lifetime warranty. So that's really an added benefit to the Zeagle product.
Absolutely. So one thing that people might not realize with the Xena is that it's available in our personal fit system, which means that you can have independent sizes for different pieces of the BCD, such as the shoulders and the chest straps. But with the Xena, it actually also has this 6-way adjustment panel on the front. So even if you don't get the fully customized Xena with all different sizes for the different components, that chest piece on the front is really, because of the 6-way adjustment straps, it's really customizable even right out of the box. So it fits a lot of women, even if you aren't going down the route of the fully customized version of it.
So I wanted to show this, and it's hard to see in this photo here, but when I saw a note from Jeff about stilettos and how he's a stiletto diver. Well, I mean, really, the stiletto is the Xena in a men's version. You're missing the comfortable front neoprene strap, but for men, this is really the cut you're looking for. They're really similar in terms of design. They both share a TPU bladder. Both are fully custom. The stiletto you see in the wicked gray, and obviously the Xena's in the hot pink. These are both custom BCs straight out of the Salt Lake City facility here. Again, for custom, it's a 30-day lead time, but on the shelf, as always, we have our black. It's most commonly purchased, always in stock and ready to ship out.
And please shop at your local Zeagle dealer. Any Zeagle dealer can help you get fitted with a custom BC or a personal fit system BC. So definitely check out our website, and there's a dealer locator. So if you don't know where your local dealer is, just jump on the Zeagle.com website and find your dealer. They'll hook you up with custom. They'll hook you up with personal fit system, all that kind of stuff. Don't hesitate for that. Another question is somebody's asking what other differences there are between the Ranger and the Ranger LTD. They're really interested in the hose.
The hose. The first one I'll start off with is the hardware. So you have additional D-rings for the shoulders. It makes it a lot more comfortable fit for the LTD. You have additional webbing that runs all the way down to the D-rings. So attachment points for accessories like spools and reels and D-rings for clipping off camera equipment, whatever you're going to be diving with. The LTD also has a top OPV. So in the event you want more OPV locations to dump air, whether it's your bottom or the top, the LTD has a top dump. Those are really the big difference between the LTD and the standard Ranger.
Cool, thank you. Got a couple more people joining us. Joe, what's up? How are you? Good to see you. Eric, he likes the hose connection as well. Rich, what's up? Rich Best, stiletto for so long. I worn one out and just about to get a second one. That's another thing that we find a lot with Zeagle BCD divers is they'll put thousands of dives on their BCD, but then once it does die and it just falls apart eventually after 3,000 or 5,000 dives, however many, then they just go back and they get the same BCD again because it's done so good for so many years.
Hey, so Bill, I brought this up on the table to show really I wouldn't call it a hybrid, but it's a BC that's in between our sport line and our classic line. You have a very streamlined BCD, and this thing can actually roll into a very small diameter. You can stow it into a backpack or stow it in your duffel bag. It has MOLLE attachment points on the outside here. So if you want to attach, again, an SMB or a pocket or accessory pocket to put a camera or a light, the MOLLE system is really nice. The other feature about this BC that really, it says Zeagle, is the user replaceable bladder. So on the top of the outer bag, you can unzip your nylon outer bag here, and inside you have your bladder that's user replaceable. So if the BC was ever damaged on a dive trip, on a dive boat, or at a resort somewhere, you can easily patch the bladder, replace the bladder, get a new one, and go back in your dives.
And one more time, that's the Covert XT. That's Zeagle's travel BCD. It only weighs, is it 4.5 pounds or something like that? You know what the weight is?
Under 5 pounds, yeah.
Under 5 pounds. It's a really great travel BCD. The Covert was popular for a long time. We replaced it with the Covert XT within the last year or two, and it's better than the original. It's a great BCD. Let's see. Mark's asking one more time. He missed the lead on the custom BCD. What was it? Was it 4 weeks? Is that what it said?
Yeah, roughly 30 days.
Roughly 30 days, Mark. Thanks for asking. Joe Platko, good to see you. Joe, thanks for joining, buddy.
What's up, Joe?
What's up, Joe? All right, cool. Let's keep going. You got any more BCDs to show us?
I mean, that's kind of the bread and butter for the Zeagle line. You know, we have our sports series BCs, jacket style BCs that are more common. Like the Bravo Marina, I could show them to you, but really they're you know, full of features. They have a really Zeagle-esque design.
We are going to be talking about the Bravo for sure, because I know that Benja loves the Bravo. So we'll definitely be talking about that in a minute.
Yeah. But really, I mean, what I like to talk about with all the Zeagle history are the classic line and our Covert XT. Those are the greatest PCs we have in the line today.
One last thing real quick for people who maybe aren't super familiar with it. Could you just go over the ripcord system and kind of why we have it and
sure,
what advantages there are to having one?
I'll use this as an example. So traditionally with weight integrated BCDs, you're probably used to seeing a BC with 2 pockets. You know, other manufacturers have their branded or trademarked name for them. Oceanic uses QLR, for example. In the event you're on a dive boat or at a resort or on a dive trip, if you ditch those pockets or lose one, it's very difficult to get back into the water without being able to get a pocket just like that pocket you lost. With Zeagle ripcord, you have a single-handed operation versus a two-handed operation. That's the first real advantage. The second part of it is if you have to dump your weights, the ripcord stays with the BC. The weights obviously dump out, allowing you to get to the surface in an emergency. Rethreading the BC is quite easy. It's about a 1-minute operation to rethread. But you can easily load any type of weight into these pockets, or use your weight pouch here. So if you dump your weights, for example, it could be lead pouches, lead weights. You simply put them back in your pouch, put the pouch back in the BC, and go on the dive. This has been the design for nearly 40 years for Zeagle. You know, a single-handed operation, that was a Zeagle first, industry first. That design has never changed. And that kind of sums up what ripcord design actually is.
I have heard some people asking about, you know, the ripcord, like, what's the point if it's more difficult to replace it? Why would I do that? And the thing is Zeagle BCDs are mainly made for professional divers or experienced divers, and even beginner divers and intermediate advanced divers. The chances of you actually ditching your weights on a dive are pretty small. I mean, I've got over 1,000 dives. I've never actually had to ditch my weights on a dive. So it's more secure, and it's really easy one-handed release if you ever do have to ditch the weights. But the chances of most people ditching their weights are very small. So don't let the ripcord being, you know, somebody told you it's not as easy to replace the weight or whatever. Don't worry about that. You're not going to ditch your weights. And if you do, it's a one pull thing and you're done. And if that happens, you're going to call the dive anyway. Somebody's asking if you can replace the weights underwater. Larry is. You would have to rethread it before you're replacing the weights. But like I said, if it's an emergency that's so hectic that you have to ditch your weights and bail out to the surface, you're not going to be replacing your weights underwater anyway. That's the end of the dive. Yeah,
generally your weights will live in a pouch like this. Handing this from the water up to the boat deck to get out of the boat or to get back on the boat, that's the most activity this pocket's going to be seeing. Otherwise, in an emergency, you can ditch your weights. That's the primary function of the ripcord.
Tracy, thanks for asking about the origin of the name Zeagle. Zach was talking about it earlier. It actually used to be Eagle Systems back in the day when they were a skydiving brand. And through the years, that transitioned into Zeagle Systems. So thank you for asking. Good question.
That's a very
all right, cool.
Little bit of history right there.
It isn't. I just learned yesterday. All right, let's also touch on some of the mask snorkel fin. They're masks and fins that we've been making with Zeagle.
Yeah, sure. I can grab one of our colored masks here. You guys can see one of those.
This is the dual scope. This is another product that our ambassador Benja just loves, so he'll be talking about this a bit too, I'm sure, once we bring him on in a couple minutes here.
So I don't have a black scope 2 or scope mono to show you, but you get the idea of what it is. You know, scope mono, scope dual, basically a single lens and a dual lens. Both are very low volume. User replaceable strap, a very comfortable elastic strap, I may add. The scope dual is one of the features of the mask is user replaceable lenses. So we have color kits that allow you to put a color ring in here, whether, you know, for a female diver or a male diver that loves pink. You got a pink color here. We have purple and blue and a variety of really nice colors to offer. So again, dual lens, scope dual, scope mono, both great masks, very soft, supple silicone. And that's the scope dual, the scope mono.
Absolutely. You have a pair of Recons there behind you too?
I do.
Cool. Did anybody take advantage of the orange Recon fins when we were, or the Coyote Camo? Did anybody here get a pair of those Recons by chance?
Yeah, so anyone who didn't get a chance to get those Recons in the camo or the Rescue Orange, we do have a very limited supply that went up on the B2B just a couple days ago. So at your local dealer, you can ask for them. We have probably, I'd say, 5 or 10 sizes available, just a few models available. So the Recon fin, you know, this was actually designed as a technical fin, a variety of different kick styles. You have these ribs here that allow water to flow over the sides. So whether you're penetrating a wreck or a cave, or you want a lot of thrust, there's a lot of rebound in this fin. There's actually 8 different durometers that are built into this fin. You know, a very firm foot pocket, but a very soft upper foot pocket here. Soft center, pretty rigid ribs on the blades here. Yeah, great fin. That's all I can say about it. It's a lot of great feedback.
Absolutely. I love it too, and I know that Benja loves it too, so he'll talk about it in just a second here. Real quick question, is there going to be reader glasses for the scope dual? Any word on that?
Planned, yeah, there is a plan for it. You can see it in our buyer's guide and our price list on the website. We plan on having those by September of this year. So, you know, a couple more months they'll be in stock. Good to hear.
All right, one last thing. So what is going next? What's happening next? What's on the horizon for Zeagle Systems in the future here?
If I told you, Bill, you know what happens. No, I'll share a little bit about what we're working on. Really, going into this last year, going into DEMA, for example, we had a new big marketing plan for Tested, Trusted, a big new message for Zeagle. But in terms of product development, we have several new products that are in the pipeline, new BCs, new regulators, none of which I can really tell you about in detail here, but by this DEMA, you're going to see a few new products that are really groundbreaking and really going to the next level for Zeagle, which that's what Zeagle has always done, is had groundbreaking products. So wait until the next show, maybe in a year from now after we're going to be skipping DEMA this year, obviously, but next year it's going to be shown.
And we will definitely update you guys with anything that we can as far as new product information that becomes publicly available. We'll definitely update on social media whenever we have updates that are ready to share with the public. So always stay tuned there for more info about that kind of stuff. Somebody loves the Recon. Somebody talking about the scope again. It's an awesome mask. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and introduce our brand manager who's joining us today from Maui, Mr. Benja Iglesis. One moment. Let's bring him on in. 3, 2, 1. I love that part.
There we go.
Benja!
There he
Hello,
is.
guys. How we doing,
What's up,
man?
buddy?
What's up, brother?
All good, all good.
Welcome. Welcome to the show. So you're joining us from Maui today, is that correct?
Yes, sir. 9 in the morning.
9 in the morning.
Good morning for me. Good afternoon for you.
Beautiful Monday.
Indeed. Sunny and nice. Very, very nice day here.
Nice.
Well, thanks for making the time for us today. Looks like a lovely day there, as I would expect.
Always a pleasure, guys. Always a pleasure.
So, Benja, you want to tell everybody at home who you are, kind of a bit about your diving history and photography history?
Well, I'm born and raised in Chile and moved to the United States in the 80s, close to the 90s, between 80s and 90s, 87, 88. And I've been in the industry for over 30 years. I've been lucky enough to be a couple of times diving in every single majority of the place around the world. I run a dive company here that we do charters to an area called Molokini, very well-known place. And been shooting for 30 years in the dive industry and being happy enough to explore the planet and see the beauties around this planet underwater and overwater.
Have you still been able to do some diving there?
I've been because we're lucky enough. I have a boat, so I'm able to take, like, you can do it in small groups. So it's just I go with my wife and my daughter, and I do some small trips to near the South Shores here or Molokini. A couple of dives a week. You can't do it a lot because people start getting anxious that you're doing it. They're not. So you have to be very polite about it. But at least
there's probably a lot of people on this. Probably a lot of people on this call that are a little jealous that you were diving yesterday, but no, it's fine. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, I'm close to the water. I'm 2 blocks from the water, so I have to enjoy it while I can.
What's your? Do you have a favorite location that you've been to diving?
Well, in Hawaii, for me, one of the best places, Molokini back wall of reef sand, that is one of the edges of the tough cinder cone that they call it a crater. It's not a crater, but the area that is the most famous area in Hawaii has a couple of drops there. They're unbelievable. Good for sharks, whales, mantas. When it works, it's the ocean. So not that you're gonna have it every day. But it's just it's an unbelievable site. And there's a second site that is coming in close to the South Shores that is called the 85-foot pinnacle. As the name says, it's an 85-foot drop with a few pinnacles there, and then you have usually magic happens, eagle rays, a lot of eels, a lot of sharks. Pretty nice area for more experienced divers than the common weekly diver. More you have to know what you're doing there because it can get you a lot of big current. But it's a site that is, if you come to Hawaii, you have to try to do it at least once.
So with you talking about some of the wildlife that you see there and all that, let's go ahead and share some of your images so that people could kind of see what you're working with out there.
That's obviously here. This is that's a hellcat that is in the near the Malaya Bay. It's a super easy dive, very shallow, but really photogenic area. Very beautiful plane there.
Cool. This is very Zeagle-y photo. It definitely gives me some Zeagle vibes with this photo.
That's a great photo.
And that's good encounter. That's whale shark. That was Molokini. Small, short, funny story. Not funny story, but a friend of mine died that day, and I put the ashes pretty deep at Molo, and then suddenly this guy came up very, as you see, if you know about wide angle, that animal is maybe 3 feet from my camera. It was a really, really, really exceptional experience there. Really, really overwhelming. Beautiful day.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I remember.
In the Sun Channel.
I remember when that happened.
130, 140 feet there.
Beautiful. That's a special story. Mm-hmm. Where's this one?
One of the best encounters of my life. That's a yearling humpback whale that they come during season here around November till March. They migrate to this area to have their babies, and this is a yearling, big animal still. Has to be maybe a foot from the dome. This is at the safety stop. I just turned around and it was right there. And I have a lot of nice images of this animal. That was gentle giants, that we like to call them. That was an unbelievable experience that time. Very, very nice.
Wow. Here's a couple more of his photos. Got a nice clownfish.
Okinawa.
Japan.
That's
beautiful.
Clownfish. Obviously, they live in the anemones. Okinawa has unbelievable diving, and a little north from Okinawa, you have Naguni Islands that you have all the hammerheads there. Really, really beautiful diving in that area. Highly recommended. These clownfish are very, very curious. Then the sharks in Bahamas. You can go to the sharks.
Those Bahamas.
Very, very nice. They have the shark feeding in Bahamas, but then when you get away a little bit away to the drop off, it's a nice, really deep wall near Bahamas there in Grand Bahamas, and you get all these grays and all these reef sharks. So many because I used to see the boats coming in, and then you're surrounding for 60 or 70. If you move a little bit out towards the drop off, it's a really, really spectacular area to go diving. Caribbean has some exceptional dives. Tiger Beach and all that area is good too.
Is this local?
Morning, that's the South Shore, really close to my house, maybe, I don't know, 200 yards from my house. Really early morning light. You can see the rays coming in, and the Hawaiians green sea turtle that is protected, but they're coming in bigger numbers now because it's been protected for so long. And you can see these beautiful animals close to you, very, very close. They're very used to divers and snorkelers. But I like the rays, the incident of the water there is just phenomenal. That the mornings are very, very beautiful to shoot.
Beautiful. And then this one
of the best places in the planet to go diving. You are, if you like
Antarctica,
diving,
huh?
that's on an iceberg in Antarctica, South Pole. Very, very overwhelming place to go diving. Just for where you are, not so many people get lucky enough to dive over there. And this one is a really big iceberg with a drop, very, very deep drop, very overwhelming. And be able to touch that ice is like hitting glass. It's impossible. It's no grip to it. And looking down and see that dark water right below you is just overwhelming. And your head always going through, where's the leopard seal? Where's the leopard seal? But you see a lot of cool stuff, penguins and orcas and crab eater seals and small sea stars. Yes, Antarctica is a place that really, really on my heart. I'm able to go. I think that was my third trip to that area, and this year was the fourth trip, but we have to cancel for obvious reasons. But as soon as we get out of this, I'm going back there. Very beautiful area.
That's awesome.
Here's Benja doing a little modeling for us.
One of the best gears in the planet. That's BCD is exceptional. That's we're modeling the Bravo there. That's the Malaware in Lahaina site. One very, very good dive site behind that pier there, and that's, you see, the greatest model ever.
Yeah, he's a Zeagle.
Greatest model ever.
Yeah,
that's the Bravo. Such an amazing BCD.
So how many dives do you have on your Bravo, Benja? How many dives do you have on your Bravo?
I lost audio.
I think
you lost audio.
He has several thousand dives already on his Bravo. That's what he was saying to me last week.
I know, we still got you. You gone? Right, he might have to restart or something.
I'm back. I'm not back.
You're back.
You're back. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a few thousand dives in that BCD, definitely, and it still looks like I just took it out of the box. It's just an exceptional piece of gear. I like all the details it has that you can hang. I usually carry more than one housing when I'm diving, so it's the D-rings are very, really comfortable to carry gear with you. Sturdy. I like the pockets. You know, if you guys were mentioning about dropping the weights, you can drop the weights on that. But even if you forgot your weights, the zipper are so good that you can still put weights on those pockets.
Absolutely.
Top of the line BCD, very, very nice.
We've heard that same thing, Benja.
Good point.
You can put weights in the outer pockets. I mean, that BC had a revamp as well last year. Now it carries the BX style inflator as well, so it has some upgrades to it. It's a great product. Yeah, also your trim weights in the back they're really, really, really comfortable. You know, you can load them there, and then I don't use much weight when I dive in Hawaii, so I just use the trim weights for that because I use only 4 pounds on it. But I like also the D-rings. They're so sturdy, like good to carry whatever you need. Also, if you need to hook your safety line for your sausage to let know the boat where you're drifting. It's a very, very well designed and well made. And we do 400 to 500 dives a year average on the boat, and that BCD is in every single one of them. I also have the Marina that I use it for ladies on the boat. That is nice.
The other side of that one. and that one right there. And the marine is also a really, really, it fits so nicely though. It's just such a well-made piece of equipment. We use it a lot on the boat. We have a few. I have also obviously the Ranger that I dove it before. I had the Bravo. They're just as you guys say, it's gear that you can. I'm very, very hard on gear, and this gear, I haven't been able to destroy it. I usually do, but it's a very well made gear though.
If anybody,
keep trying.
Yeah, he will. I'm sure he will. If
best
anybody
I
has
can.
any
Without
questions,
I know we talk a bit about the fins and the mass.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to that. I have mine, and these traps are just exceptional for the reason that when I have long hair, I cut it now, but it never pulls your hair, like the small straps usually do.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is so thick is nice too, because when you use it over your hoodie, right, you just grab it immediately when you have thick gloves like Antarctica or any place that you're diving in cold water. And that's a very, very, very nice of this mask. And the angle of view, me that I'm shooting all the time, I like the black scare, but it gives you a big angle of view because it's a big glass. So it's a very, very, very nice mask in order to have your eyepiece near your face and be able to shoot properly.
If anybody has any questions for Benja about the gear he dives with or what he shoots with, I don't think he can hear me.
He's 30. This is the fin. This fin goes as fast as you can kick. That's the best thing about these fins. The recon, in my industry and our industry, but in what we do is taking people diving every day. Sometimes you need to move fast, and these fins would move as fast as you can kick. They're very, very heavy, like kicking. So if you have enough strength, you're able to sprint and grab whoever is in. If someone is in trouble, someone needs to help, something you have to chase. Whale shark, manta, you want to follow with them. Mantas and whale shark, they move
exactly
practically fast, and you can keep up with them. What is a really, really, really well-made piece of equipment, and they flex enough for you to be able to put as much muscle as you want. And I that's what I love. I don't have nothing against splint fins, but I like having my power in order to move. It's just we dive so much that I want to be able to have the reaction that I need when I kick.
Thanks, Benja.
Does anybody here dive with split fins? Is there anybody who likes split fins out here ahead of non-split fins? I'd be interested in here if we get
they're gonna work like unbelievably
for
good
that.
in Antarctica too.
I don't think Benja can hear us, unfortunately. Benja, can you hear me?
A little bit of a lag there.
Oh,
Benja, can you hear us?
You hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you fine. Can you hear me? Somebody's asking what your favorite animal is. You might want to join again. You want to
you hear
drop
me?
off and come back? All right, I'm going to go ahead and try to get him to join again because I don't think he can hear us here.
Darn.
Let's see here. All right. What's your favorite animal? Somebody was asking Benja what his favorite is, but he's going to hopefully join back in a second here. But let's go ahead and ask brand manager Zach Hollis that.
Yeah, in terms of diving, I love, I've been in New Guinea quite a few times, Papua New Guinea. The diving there, you can see a variety of big fish, small. If you're a photographer, that area for me is the ultimate when it comes to seeing big game or even things, anemones and small creatures on corals. So, of course, sharks for me, though. Sharks are the ultimate.
What's your favorite shark? I'm gonna add Benja, but I think he's still a little. Let's see here. 3, 2, 1. Oh, Benja!
You're back, buddy.
Sorry. I have to go and grab my coffee.
Can you turn your camera?
That way.
There we go. Beautiful. You're back.
Technology, right? Sometimes goes good.
Technology.
Hey,
what's your favorite animal?
Sorry?
Someone's asking what your favorite animal is to shoot.
Yeah, there you
go. Humpback whale.
Whales. Absolutely. And
animal.
Do you prefer a wing inflate or a jacket inflate, BCD?
For myself? I use the jacket when I'm guiding, and I use the wing when I'm going to places like Antarctica, South Pole, or North Pole, because I can put both tanks in the back, and I'm very easy to swim with it. While where I'm guiding here, I don't like the wings just because I need to be just more compact and everything close to me. But the wings are exceptional when I'm doing something like this, more hardcore, more heavy diving.
Got it.
Good answer. All right, awesome. So what are you gonna do once this quarantine is over, Benja? Do you have any travel plans or anything that?
Yeah, we're going September to Galapagos. I used to go twice a year, and it been a little bit up and down. But if everything is right, this September I'm in Galapagos. I go with a group of people that we do a little bit of environmental issues over there in the island of San Cristobal. And Galapagos
Beautiful.
is a phenomenal place. It's an unbelievable place, all the
Yeah,
marine
it's
life.
a great place. Diving there is
Have you
fantastic.
been? You've been, Zach?
No. I've heard so many stories about Galapagos. I've been hearing for 30 years about how great the diving is. I got to go. Maybe I'll go with Benja.
It's unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
And it's such a well compact. You know what I mean? They don't let that many boats go. They only let in each dive site only 2 liveaboards can be at the same time. Each liveaboard only carry 12 to 10 people. So you don't have any dive. You don't have more than 10 people. Even if you're in the same dive site, one boat will go left, the other one go right. So it's 12 people per dive site.
Right.
So it's,
Wow.
it's a very regulated area. That's why it's such an unbelievable marine life.
Zach, what's your bucket list dive?
I mean, Chuck Lagoon, that's, I want to go there and actually get some dives in. I think that area for me in terms of technical diving, a little bit of deep diving, so photography, it says it all. I mean, that area is great. Besides that, just want to take my kids to somewhere nice and warm, like, Cayman Islands, get some nice family diving in. So,
Hawaii.
Yeah, Hawaii.
Hey, well, Hawaii is where it's at. So
Benja will take you.
I'll be there next.
Just come here, have the boat. We're going to have fun, man.
I'm on my way.
Your brother Nick just decided to join us. He was only 45 minutes late. Hi, Nick Hollis. How are you? Thanks for joining the tail end here.
I know. Way to show up to the party.
Way to show up to the party. Cool. Zach, what BCD do you dive?
I mean, honestly, the Covert XT to me, if I was to just pick one for a quick day dive, that BC has everything I need. It's back inflation versus jacket style inflation. But the Ranger is kind of the ultimate. Like I said before, the Ranger is what I'd probably choose to go dive with. Those 2 BCs are my top favorites.
I definitely have done a lot of diving with the Covert XT. And I travel so much that I Covert's awesome for me because it's so light.
Yeah.
We've got a question here from Lisa Marie. She's asking Benja if he ever provides data and images to scientists from all the animals that you encounter on your dives.
I work with, every time I see a monk seal that there are no less than 1,000 left in the planet, we report them to the monk seal research team over here. And I've been working with the Manta organization for over, I would say, 20 years. And I named, I think, over 12 different mantas that didn't found them. I was the first people collecting data, meaning you shoot the manta, the pattern over here is like our thumbprint, right? So I report that, and if no one else have reported, you get to name it. So I think I named close to 15 of them that I've been seeing over the years in the Hawaiian waters. I do a little bit of work with the Hawksbill turtles. We watch the nests and stuff like that. I don't do much to them besides watching the nest till they hatch, and then they let me shoot a little bit, but those are pretty delicate. There are not many Hawksbill turtles left in Hawaiian waters, so we have to be very delicate to that. But mainly, and every time that I need any nonprofit need footage or something like that, I give them video and images. Obviously, because I'm nonprofit, I don't charge for that. You have to do something for the soul, a little bit for the business, a little bit for the soul, to keep on doing happy things around the world, right?
You got
Amazing. Another question for you, Benja. Ryan Andrews is asking, what computer do you dive with?
Well, I have the two of the Oceanic. I have the last Oceanic, the one that you was showing the other day. I have Asunto D4i.
The Geo4. That was the Geo4.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable computer. It's just Oceanic has. I like a lot the one that it goes on the console, the XT. That is an unbelievable because the numbers are so big that you can see it from whatever you want, and it's such bright screen to look at it. You know,
Right.
And that's the Pro Plus X.
yeah, that's an unbelievable computer. Very, very comfortable, very easy to carry, very easy to see. I'm on my 50s, so I need longer arms, and because it has
You're still a young guy, man.
I can still see it pretty good, but it's very, very comfortable, very nice and easy. And they have a really the algorithm is very, very good. Like when you want to maximize your dives, again, because I'm older, I get a little more conservative. The way I can make like more dives in the period of time that I have to go diving. Some days we put up to 4 dives a day, you know. So you have to be really careful about the amount of nitrogen that you get in your body.
Ryan says that's a great computer. Does anybody else have any questions? We're kind of wrapping up now, but if anybody has any last minute questions for Zach or for Benja, we would love to hear them. Especially anything about Zeagle gear, Zeagle products. We're definitely on deck to answer them. I know somebody was asking about these hats, Zach, and if they can get one or what the status is with these. You wanna let them know?
I would say, with the hats, or you see Bill wearing these buffs here. I mean, go to the website, get information about it. They're selling fast, so that's all I could say. But those hats are phenomenal.
If you guys want to get a buff, please email sales@hewishoutdoors.com. We'll go ahead and put it in the captions here too, or in the comments below. Sales@hewishoutdoors.com with your contact info, and we'll reach out to you and we'll get you a buff. So if anybody's interested in getting a Zeagle, Hollis, or Oceanic buff, boom, I got all of them right here on display. So
Nice.
Please reach out to us if you're interested in getting one. We'd love to hook you up with one. All right, cool. Well, speaking of buffs, we do have a couple winners from today who are getting a free buff, a free Zeagle buff. Bart Drummond is one of the winners, Dan Beard, and Alan Minch. So I'll also put this in the comments so you guys can double check. But Bart Drummond, my last name is Drum. Bart, love your name, man. It's a great name. Dan Beard, I got a beard, so I like your name too. And Alan Minish, you're great too. You guys are the winners. Congratulations. Please send us a DM and send Zeagle a DM on Facebook with your address, and we will send you out a free buff to rock this summer and beyond. Martin Strimska just joined us. Hey, Martin, how are you? Good to see you. Cool. Well, we got some people thanking us for the information. And if you guys have any other questions, you can leave a comment on this video or send us a message, and we'll definitely answer your comments and questions because that's kind of what we're here for. And other than that, thanks everybody for joining.
Stay safe, everybody. Thanks for joining us today.
Aloha. Stay safe. Later, guys.
Adios.
Adios.
Thank you.